Circle 8, Bolgia 10. The falsifiers. The remaining three classes, evil impersonators, counterfeiters, and false witnesses. Just as Carpaccio finishes speaking, two ravenous spirits come racing through the pit, and one of them, sinking his tusks into Carpaccio's neck, drags him away like prey. Carpaccio's companion, Griffolino, identifies the two as Gianni Schicchi and Mira, who run ravening through the pit through all eternity, snatching at other souls and rending them. These are the evil impersonators, falsifiers of persons. In life they seized upon the appearance of others, and in death they must run with never a pause, seizing upon the infernal apparition of these souls, while they in turn are preyed upon by their own furies. Next, the poets encounter Master Adam, a sinner of the third class, a falsifier of money, a counterfeiter. Like the alchemists, he is punished by a loathsome disease, and he cannot move from where he lies. But his disease is compounded by other afflictions, including an eternity of unbearable thirst. Master Adam identifies two spirits lying beside him as Potiphar's wife and Sinon the Greek, sinners of the fourth class. The false witness, falsifiers of words. Sinon, angered by Master Adam's identification of him, strikes him across the belly with the one arm he is able to move. Master Adam replies in kind, and Dante, fascinated by their continuing exchange of abuse, stands staring at them until Virgil turns on him in great anger. For the wish to hear such baseness is degrading. Dante burns with shame, and Virgil immediately forgives him because of his great and genuine repentance. At the time when Juno took her furious revenge for Semele, striking in rage again and again at the Theban royal house, King Athamas, by her contrivance, grew so mad that, seeing his wife out for an airing with his two sons, he cried to his retinue, "Out with the nets there, nets across the pass, for I will take this lioness and her cubs," and spread his talons, mad and merciless, and seizing his son, Learchus, whirled him round and brained him on a rock, at which the mother leaped into the sea with her other son and drowned. And when the wheel of fortune spun about to humble the all-daring Trojan's pride, so that both king and kingdom were wiped out, Hecuba, mourning, wretched, and a slave, having seen Polyxena sacrificed and Polydorus dead without a grave, lost and alone, beside an alien sea, began to bark and growl like a dog, in the mad seizure of her misery. But never in Thebes nor Troy were furies seen to strike at man or beast in such mad rage as two I saw, pale, naked, and unclean, who suddenly came running toward us then, snapping their teeth as they ran, like hungry swine let out to feed after a night in the pen. One of them sank his tusks so savagely into Carpaccio's neck that when he dragged him, the ditch's rocky bottom tore his belly, and the Aretine, left trembling by me, said, "That incubus in life was Gianni Schicchi. Here he runs rabid, mangling the other dead." "So," I answered, "and so may the other one not sink its teeth in you. Be pleased to tell us what shade it is before it races on." And he, "That ancient shade in time above was Mira, vicious daughter of Cinyras, who loved her father with more than rightful love. She falsified another's form, and came disguised to sin with him, just as that other who runs with her, in order that he might claim the fabulous led mare, lay under disguise on Buoso Donati's deathbed, and dictated a spurious testament to the notaries. And when the rabid pair had passed from sight, I turned to observe the other misbegotten spirits that lay about to left and right, and there I saw another husk of sin, who had his legs been rimmed away at the groin, would have looked for all the world like a mandolin. The dropsy's heavy humors, which so bunch and spread the limbs, had disproportioned him till his face seemed much too small for his swollen paunch. He strained his lips apart and thrust them forward the way a sick man, feverish with thirst, curls one lip toward the chin and the other upward. O you exempt from every punishment of this grim world, I know not why, he cried, look well upon the misery and debasement of him who was Master Adam. In my first life's time I had enough to please me. Here I lack a drop of water for my thirst. The rivulets that run from the green flanks of Casentino to the Arno's flood, spreading their cool sweet moisture through their banks, run constantly before me, and their plash and ripple in imagination dries me more than the disease that eats my flesh. Inflexible justice that has forked and spread my soul like hay, to search it the more closely, finds in the country where my guilt was bred this increase of my grief. For there I learned, there in Romena, to stamp the Baptist's image on alloyed gold till I was bound and burned. But could I see the soul of Guido here, or of Alessandro, or of their filthy brother, I would not trade that sight for all the clear, cool flow of Branda's fountain. One of the three, if those wild wraiths who run here are not lying, is here already. But small good it does me, when my legs are useless. Were I light enough to move as much as an inch in 100 years, long before this I would have started off to cull him from the freaks that fill this fosse, although it winds on for 11 miles, and is no less than half a mile across. Because of them I lie here in this pig pen. It was they persuaded me to stamp the florins with 3 carats of alloy. And I then, who are those wretches too sprawled alongside your right-hand borders, and who seem to smoke as a washed hand smokes in winter? He replies, they were here when I first reined into this gully, and have not changed position since, nor may they, as I believe, to all eternity. One is the liar who charged young Joseph wrongly, the other, Sinon, the false Greek from Troy. A burning fever makes them reek so strongly. And one of the false pair, perhaps offended by the manner of Master Adam's presentation, punched him in the rigid and distended belly. It thundered like a drum, and he retorted with an arm blow to the face that seemed delivered no whit less politely, saying to him, although I cannot stir my swollen legs, I still have a free arm to use at times when nothing else will answer. And the other wretch said, it was not so free on your last walk to the stake, free as it was when you were coining. And he of the dropsy, that's true enough, but there was less truth in you when they questioned you at Troy. And Sinon then, for every word I uttered that was not true, you uttered enough false coins to fill a bushel. I am put down here for a single crime, but you for more than any fiend in hell. Think of the horse, replied the swollen shade, and may it torture you, perjurer, to recall that all the world knows the foul part you played. And to you the torture of the thirst that fries and cracks your tongue, said the Greek, and of the water that swells your gut like a hedge before your eyes. And the coiner, so is your own mouth clogged with the filth that stuffs and sickens it, as always. If I am parched while my paunch is waterlogged, you have the fever and your cankered brain. And were you asked to lap Narcissus's mirror, you would not wait to be invited again. I was still standing, fixed upon those two, when the master said to me, now, keep on looking a little longer, and I quarrel with you. When I heard my master raise his voice to me, I wheeled about with such a start of shame that I grow pale yet at the memory, as one trapped in a nightmare that has caught his sleeping mind wishes within the dream that it were all a dream, as if it were not. Such I became. My voice could not win through my shame to ask his pardon, while my shame already won more pardon than I knew. Less shame, my guide said, ever just and kind, would wash away a greater fault than yours. Therefore, put back all sorrow from your mind, and never forget that I am always by you, should it occur again, as we walk on, that we find ourselves where others of this crew fall to such petty wrangling and upbraiding, the wish to hear such baseness is degrading. Notes 1 and 2. Juno took her furious revenge. As in the case of the Aeginians, Jove begot a son, Bacchus, upon a mortal, Semele, daughter of the king Cadmus of Thebes. And Juno, who obviously could not cope with her husband's excursions directly, turned her fury upon the mortals in a number of godlike ways, among them inducing the madness of King Athamas, Semele's brother-in-law, which Ovid recounts in Metamorphoses. 16. Hecuba, wife of King Priam. When Troy fell, she was taken to Greece as a slave. En route, she was forced to witness the sacrifice of her daughter and to look upon her son lying murdered and unburied. She went mad in her affliction and fell to howling like a dog. Ovid's Metamorphoses describes her anguish, but does not say she was changed into a dog. 31. The Arentine, Carpaccio's companion Griffolino. 32. Gianni Schicchi, of the Cavalcanti of Florence. When Buoso Donati died, his son Simone persuaded Schicchi to impersonate the dead man and to dictate a will in Simone's favor. Buoso was removed from the deathbed. Schicchi took his place in disguise, and the will was dictated to a notary as if Buoso were still alive. Schicchi took advantage of the occasion to make several bequests to himself, including one of the famous and highly prized mare. 38. Myrrha. The second figure that runs rabid through the pit was the daughter of Cinyras, king of Cyprus. Moved by an incestuous passion for her father, she disguised herself and slipped into his bed. After he had mated with her, the king discovered who she was and threatened to kill her, but she ran away and was changed into a myrtle. Adonis was born from her trunk. Ovid's Metamorphoses. Line 61. Master Adam of Brescia. Under the orders of the Counts Guidi of Romena, he counterfeited Florentine florins of 21 rather than 24-karat gold, and on such a scale that a currency crisis arose in northern Italy. He was burned at the stake by the Florentines in 1281. 65. Casentino, a mountainous district in which the Arno rises. 74. The Baptist's image, John the Baptist. As patron of Florence, his image was stamped on the florins. 76 to 77. Guido, Alessandro, their filthy brother, the Counts Guidi. 79. Branda, a spring near Romena. The famous fountain of Branda is in Siena. But Adam is speaking of his home country and must mean the spring. 79 to 81, one of the three is here already. Guido died before 1300. 92, your right hand orders, Master Adam's right side. Dante uses confini, borders, for side, suggesting ironically that Master Adam in his swollen state is more like a territory than a man. 97, the liar who charged young Joseph. Potiphar's wife bore false witness against Joseph. 98, Sinon, the Greek who glibly talked the Trojans into taking the horse inside the city walls. 115 to 117, a single crime. Dante must reckon each false florin as a separate sin. 128, Narcissus's mirror, a pool of water, in Ovid's Metamorphoses, tells how the young Narcissus fell in love with his own reflection in a pool. He remained bent over the reflection till he wasted away and was changed into a flower.